keep saying what's next.
Yeah.
We are here until we end this menagerie of mandates and not laws. We are a country of... Please, let me finish. You spoke, I'm speaking. Thank you, Senators, for having us today. My name is Ron Coleman. I'm from Reno, Nevada. My daughter said to me before I left, Dad, you can't afford to do this with everything that's come over the last 2 years. And I looked at her and I said, I can't afford not to do this. This is a movement that the people have brought forth that says our God-given rights have been trampled on from our Constitution. Let Nancy Pelosi know that the power is in the people and we are coming. Amen. Well, good evening, everyone, and hope you're having a somewhat good day. Myself, I think that I would have to say I'm pissed off. What a day. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about our southern border. I'm talking about the fact that the administration of the resident Biden has managed to get the Supreme Court of the United States to allow his open border policies. And, when we go through this, or when I go through this, I'll let you know that, there's two sides to every story, but the policy may be the bigger issue right now. We know that they're breaking the law. Who are they? They are the government of the United States of America. And the Secretary of Homeland Defense, Mayorkas, is the most complicit in allowing this invasion to occur. So what is the government saying? What is the administration saying? You, me, and every red-blooded patriot and American out there that loves this country, veterans like myself who have fought for this country, we know that this is an invasion. The argument is that single word. They disagree that it's an invasion. You won't hear the media say anything about this being an invasion. No, this is a humanitarian crisis, not an invasion. And so you have the Supreme Court giving a 5-4 decision to basically to have the federal government, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, remove the Constantine wire or the razor wire that they have put up in Texas. Amy Coney Barrett needs to reconsider what she has done here. At odds in the Supreme Court and in the docket was whether or not the United States government has control of the border. Well, of course, they're supposed to have control of the border. In fact, they're supposed to have the right to enter property, even private property, up into within 25 miles of the international line. And what their statements are is that the razor wire is impeding their ability to manage the border. But what is the definition that they put on to manage? Well, we know that it is to manage an open border. We know that it's an invasion. So how do we know? How can we prove it? Let's take a look at this. An acquaintance of mine from the days of the convoy a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, First Responder Media, caught what I believe, and I'm giving him 100% of that credit. He was in the right place, and I believe he has the catalyst video that proves that it's an invasion. Absolutely proves that it's an invasion, and I'm going to bring up that video. But I'm going to go into another section of that video. Actually, I'll play his video. That he captured. And so here we go.
Soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
The entitlement, guys.
You
Wow.
will see soon. Please, by the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am.
Man. Bravo. That proves that this is an invasion of epics. This man is not Hispanic. He had just come across the border. And Joe was there to capture that. That video should be completely saturating and go viral on every platform in the world. Definitely in the country. This Middle Eastern sounding man threatened Joe into saying, "You're going to find out who I am soon enough." That's an open border, people. That's 100% an open border. And it is 100% allowing fighting-aged men from other countries who hate America to coming in. Well, that's where Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution comes in. In Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution, it says, "The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion." It's right there. But then, what do we have? They say it's not an invasion, so it doesn't look at Article 4, Section 4. Well, now, Texas, because of the issues, because of the I'm looking for the word, the dereliction of duty that the government is imposing, that is in Article 4, Section 4, Texas is 100% within their right to protect their border using the 10th Amendment of the Constitution. So where the government is failing, Texas has every right to make sure that their border is secure. that their people's safety is secure. Every right. But now where do I point this? I point this in another direction. If they are derelict in their duties, they being the government, then that means we are being invaded. And this man, I would venture to say, is an enemy of the state. Giving aid and comfort to an enemy of the state means all the NGOs, every politician that sits there and says, open the border, every single Border Patrol agent who takes down the razor wire or allowed this man in is complicit in the crime of invasion. And Article 3, which is really interesting considering Article 3 of the Constitution is the judicial branch of government. SCOTUS. Section 3, treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. And every single individual that assists is complicit in the crime. We have got 10,000 people a day coming across our southern border. If we don't act quickly, we are going to lose complete control of this country. I thoroughly believe they're trying to push us into a civil war. Texas, hold the line. Hold the line. Do not allow them to come in and cut that wire. Do not. And this is where we all need to get behind Texas. We need to be firing up our congressmen. Because Congress, there's those out there, and I'll say this, there's those out there saying, well, Congress can fix this. There are already laws. Congress is a legislative body. They legislate. They are the ones who make the law. The Supreme Court is the one to interpret the law. The ultimate law of the land is the Constitution of the United States. And I would now argue that our Supreme Court has been compromised and is also complicit. We are this close, if not even closer, to civil war now. Texas is a republic. They could secede. The last time we had seceded states in the Union was in 1863. And I think we all know what happened then. So this is what's wrong. Right now, this is the biggest issue in the United States right now. And we know where it's coming from. We know that those NGOs that are assisting also need to be punished for what they are doing. They're saying, well, it's just humanitarian. Listen, if you lock down the border and they know they can't come in, it will diminish. People won't leave their homes because they'll know they can't get across. And your humanitarian problem goes away. Lock it down. Start mass deportations. Send them back to where they came from. But no, we've got the UN paying them. We've got the UN giving them debit cards. We've got the UN giving them instructions. Hell, we've even got NGOs out there telling them what restaurants to go to. They get more money than any of us gets in our Social Security when we retire. They don't have to pay nothing. They get education. They get free health care. And then they just get, oh, I'm an asylum. I'm coming in. I'm looking for an asylum. I have had it. I'm pissed off, and you should be too. And you should be letting every single person know in this country that this is where we have to draw the line. We have to close that southern border. We have to get behind Texas. Texas needs to hold the line. Abbott better not cave on this one. Better not cave. Absolutely not. And also, I'm looking through my notes. It's no secret that I do not believe the administration to be a legitimate one. It's an illegitimate president, which I call the resident, because we have evidence enough to show that they stole the 2020 election. That, in my mind, makes that entire administration illegitimate. And oh, by the way, the administration put one person on the Supreme Court via the illegitimate Senate, because they lost seats too, that gave them the majority. We lost Republican seats that would have made a majority Senate. And they confirmed Ms. Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. That makes her an illegitimate justice, in my mind, and in my opinion. This all needs to come to a head. It all needs to come to a head. We need to wipe out all of these people who have got something being held over their head as to why they make the decisions that they make that are not for the people, but completely 180 degrees against the people of the very country that they represent. I can't even begin to say how angry I have been today. So let's move on to the other gotcha on my rant here this evening. By the way, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the like button, smash it, share, and turn on your notifications. There is this judge. I'm moving the topic a bit here. There is this judge in New York City. His name is Lewis Kaplan. Another anti-American judge. Radical. Is sitting there with that E. Jean Carroll case going on in New York against President Trump. Trump left New Hampshire last night, bound for New York to be in trial today, and Kaplan postpones the court date by one day, putting it right in the middle of the New Hampshire primary tomorrow. That's election interference, plain and simple. The entire thing that they're doing with Trump is election interference. Everything that they're doing. None of it, not a single shred of what they're doing is going to hold up in any court of appeals. Nothing. All of their 91 cases, their 91 felonies, they're all going to get tossed out in the end. This is a delay tactic to try and scuttle his ability to be able to run as the president of the primary Republican candidate, the Republican nominee. They want to take away his ability to be that. And that's what they're doing. And I don't have the answer. I wish I did. I mean, there's a lot of people a lot smarter than I am can't figure this out. But we're awake to what they're doing, and that's what is important. I might also add, in case you didn't know it, this E. Jean Carroll. She is getting money I don't have the gentleman's name. I can't even call him a gentleman. The guy's name that is financing her legal fight against Trump is also financing and throwing tons and loads of money at Nikki Haley. Same person, who is also a former friend, I should say, was a friend of the former or the late Jeffrey Epstein. You can't make this up. And that I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me. That woman is batshit crazy, that E. Jean Carroll. Check her out. She is batshit crazy. I mean, this is a woman who thinks rape is sexy. Said so on Anderson Cooper's show. Yeah. And she keeps swishing around. She's, oh well, this is the dress I was wearing on the day that Trump raped me in the changing booth at the store. Oh, what? That was in the 1990s, and that dress is like 2 years ago. There goes another flock. Okay, J6. Boy, today was gifts that just kept on giving. January 6th committee. Just days before the GOP was due to take over the 117th Congress, the January 6th committee, complete with all the rhinos and every single one of our patriots that has been rotting behind bars because of those jerks. They deleted and encrypted exculpatory records so they wouldn't give it to the GOP on the 118th going in. But a forensic computer analyst was able to recover 117 files. They were supposed to turn over 4 terabytes of data to the 117th Congress. They only turned over 2 terabytes. So 2 terabytes has now been recovered. Every single one of those J6 committees members needs to be in prison. Deleting evidence that could be utilized to get our patriots out of jail and prove once and for all that January 6th insurrection narrative was 100% fabricated by Nancy Pelosi and others. That's coming. And as a result of what occurred, Senator Mike Lee has just today introduced legislation calling for an investigation into the January 6th committee. So make sure that you make your voice heard, that Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee's movement, you're 100% behind that investigation. Moving on. I'm sorry that my tone is the way it is. I'm just really angry today. At least more angry than normal. Fannie Willis, Georgia's Trump thorn in his side there, trying to try a RICO case against President Trump for just simply stating that the election was stolen back in 2020. She's so dirty, it's amazing. But she got some bad news today. The Georgia judge has unsealed the divorce case of Nathan Wade, the lead prosecutor, who has already made more than $653,000 compared to the $70,000 and $90,000 the other 2 lawyers are making. that now say that the documents from the divorce case can be put in front of the judge that is going to be looking into Fannie Willis's improprieties. And they're going to see that there are credit card receipts with Fannie Willis's name on the credit card receipts of Nathan Wade's credit card receipts while he was with his wife, paying for hotels in other cities, paying for cruises on Norwegian lines, and extravagant vacations. It's all going to come out. Never mind the fact that you've got that Fannie Willis had him 3 times in Washington, D.C., speaking to White House legal. And at least once with the January 6th committee in the 117th Congress. That case should have been thrown out the day after it was brought. And now I look forward to that one getting tossed really quick. And another thing, staying on this subject of Georgia, I was watching with Mr. T this morning. Actually, no, I caught it on X. CBS News did about 5 minutes of real news and reported that there was issues with Fannie Willis and allegedly having an affair with her lead attorney, Nathan Wade, and the whole expose about it going to court and going with a February 15th court date, hearing date. I was shocked. CBS actually did some real reporting. Also, just the other day, another judge hearing about election integrity was shown by a professor who made a claim that he could take today's, not 20 years ago, but today's Dominion machine and hack it. And he did it in front of her with a ballpoint pen. He opened up the tabulator, changed the outcome of the vote tally, put it back together, and showed the judge with a ballpoint pen. A hero. And now that means that the Dominion systems, if this judge is worth her salt, should be declared unusable in any American U.S. election. So that's what I had today, folks. We're in deep trouble, super deep trouble here. And what are we going to do about this? You know, we're going to sit back. I mean, there are plenty of us out there who've been on protests. There are plenty of us that are still out on the front lines. There's independent journalists down there on the southern border. They're actually taking their lives into their own hands. There's nothing that says the cartel won't open fire on them from the other side. So things have to change in this country. And I really seriously don't think we can wait until January of next year. We can't wait a year. We can't. Today's the 22nd of January. We've got a year, assuming that on November 5th, Donald Trump wins the election before the inauguration. But just some of my own ideas of Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley isn't going to drop out. I'll guarantee she's not going to drop out because she's being paid to stay in, because they are looking to make her the nominee of the Republican convention. And then the Republicans get buried in November. Now, how would they do that? Obviously, Trump's way ahead in the polls. But God forbid Trump slips on a banana peel, what happens? And they're throwing all kinds of barrels full of banana peels in front of him. So, read between the lines on that statement. We hope that he's got proper and a large amount of security, and we just run them out of money. He runs the ticket tomorrow in New Hampshire, and then he comes to Nevada, my home state. And that reminds me, let me bring it up. There's Nevadans that are following me that have made comments that Trump's not on the primary ballot. No, he's not. That's because we have a split. In the state of Nevada, we have a primary and a caucus. The caucus is February 8th. And there are more delegates to be had by caucus than there are by primary. So let me tell you what's going to happen. Come back to this video if you don't believe me. Come back after this, after the primary. Nikki Haley is going to win that primary here in Nevada. But what Nikki Haley will not have is the delegates. Donald Trump will have the delegates per the caucus on February 8th. But the media will report that Nikki Haley won the primary. Oh, gee whiz. Mark my words. That's what's going to happen. They're going to pump her up like nobody's business to try and take it away from Donald Trump. It's pure and simple. That's exactly what we're going to see. And I'm not sure if Joe, by the way, I'm going to post this link real quick. I have Discord going. I am live streaming over to the Discord channel, Grey Wolf Den. So if you go over there and you go to the stream room, you'll actually be able to see the stream there. And that's a 24-hour invite link that if you're not in that server for the den, then you can click that link and you can enter the den, and you will be given access to the folders within there and be able to see the streams there, communicate with other like-minded patriots in there as well. So you're welcome to go there. And so, Biden and the 24 election. He's not going to make it to the November 5th election on the ballot. And why do I say that? They're going to attempt to take him through the certification of the DNC nomination process. Then he'll be out. And at that specific point in time, the DNC rules allow the DNC to put in the nominee of their choice. You heard that. You heard that right. The people don't choose. The DNC chooses. So they're going to do everything in their power to hold Biden in place till the convention and then the certification of the convention. Then after that, he'll be asked to resign, or if there's health issues or whatever the case might be, the DNC will then turn around and say, ooh, let's put Big Mike in here. I'm sorry. Did I say that? That thought came out. I'm sorry. Michelle Obama in here. Let me take a look. I'm going to take a look at some of these chats real quick. I haven't been reading any of them. I saw hot coffee in the chats and decided I'd put up my buy me a cup of coffee. Sounds pretty good. I'm also going to check and see, because I am over on Rumble live streaming as well. Okay, we got no chats going on over there. And over on X, Dr. Tosser. Okay, yeah, I see some X stuff going over on X. I see Nurse D's in the chat. Welcome. Chuck and Girl, Leo, Giovanna. I've got GERD and I've got some acid reflux that's hitting my larynx, so it's causing my voice to go somewhat hoarse. I apologize. Okay. Hey, how you doing, Gunny? Yep. All right, so folks, this is do or die time, I think. Honestly, I really believe this is do or die time. We need to show our support for Texas, and we need to make sure that Texas stands their ground. And does not allow the government to go in and remove the razor wire or the, as they put it, blockages to the border. It's hampering the ability of them to do their job. Texas has every right to defend themselves against this invasion. And don't be fooled, it is an invasion. And I know you know that, but the people that we love and that we admire and friends that are not awake, they don't think there's anything at all going on. They don't think anything at all going on. But there is a lot going on. A lot going on the border. a lot going on in the air. There is troop carriers. Right now, for instance, there's almost 30 carriers, troop carriers, cargo class troop carriers going on right now. There is an abnormal amount of H-60s, which are your Black Hawk helicopters, in the air for the last week now. Mostly up here in the New England coastline. So we are, in fact, and also, I might add, there is a lot of traffic going on from here all over here. Don't be fooled. They're in the process of trying to replace us. They're in the process of trying to tear down our republic. It's not a democracy. The United States of America is a constitutional republic. Anytime you hear somebody say it's a, correct them. No, we're not a we are a constitutional republic. And what is the definition of republic? A government run by the people, not the people run by the government. We're being taxed to death on all of our monies to the point where we are lucky to keep 20 cents out of every dollar we make by the time it's all said and done. With federal taxes, with excise taxes, with property taxes. And where's it going? It's going to the laundromat, the cash laundromat called the Ukraine, where I'm betting at least 20 to 40 cents on every damn dollar that goes over there winds up back in a politician's pocket in the United States Congress. Whoops. Make sure I didn't hit the wrong button there. So we got to keep our heads on a swivel. Especially over the next, say, 48 hours. And oh, by the way, I'm actually going to say, watch France. Keep your eye on France. And more specifically, keep your eyes on Macron. Just watch. May do a little more reading here, and then I'll call it a night for you folks, because Trump's about ready to go on in New Hampshire. So, folks, while I'm reading this, please hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and please make sure that you turn on your notifications so that when I'm streaming, you'll get your notification. Well, we hope anyway. It's at the whim of YouTube or X or whomever. Okay, I'm not seeing anything real. Oh, yeah, Coda, you got that right. I'm just going to comment. That's the thing about this whole WEF. Okay? You got all these politicians and all these rich-ass people heading over to Davos, where you have Klaus Schwab and company dictating to the world what they are going to make us do. We are going to eat bugs and we're going to like it. You are going to have nothing and you're going to like it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't remember seeing World Economic Forum on my last ballot. I don't remember seeing Klaus Schwab on my last ballot. So you can go suck eggs. And so far as the WHO looking for medical sovereignty of our sovereignty, look up the definition of sovereignty, by the way. It's not for a country, by the way. Sovereignty is the people within. All right, that is the definition of a sovereignty. Sovereignty is the people within the country. They are sovereign. Joe Biden and nobody else in Washington, D.C. has the right to enter into an agreement, otherwise known as a treaty, which has to go through the Senate, to serve up our sovereignty for medical decisions, lockdowns, or anything else to the World Health Organization. And my platform, if you will, is defund the hell out of the World Health Organization, get out and cut off money to the UN and cut off any funding whatsoever to the WEF. And oh, by the way, George Soros and his son Alex, they belong in a third world country, evicted from the United States. Actually, they belong somewhere else, but I can't say that here. Alex Soros just put out a tweet yesterday with a bullet hole in a glass and $47 in his other hand. And oh, by the way, it's just not any $47. It's just silver certificates, totaling $47, and arranged in such a way that if you decode it, it's basically a threat to Donald Trump. Look it up. You want to see all the goods on that, look at Laura Loomer's X page. Okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about. It's an obvious, actually the Gateway Pundit has a good deal on that as well. So you can go to the Gateway Pundit and look it up. Alex Soros and the Atlantic magazine. The Atlantic magazine actually put together the money all spread out, and it's obvious that they're looking to hire a hit. So where's our three-letter alphabets on that? Get them out. Right? The attacks that are going on off the coast of Yemen, we've lost two Navy SEALs. God bless them and their families. We've got this right here in the United States of America, and almost word for word in this is a representation of this. Okay? So we need to take our country back. We need to get in people's faces and let them know, you're wrong. We're not in good shape. We're in very bad. You see this? You see this right behind me? That's a distressed flag. We are a nation in distress. We need to be able to make it so that we can clean this up and put her back the way she belongs. Love every one of you folks. Don't give up. Let everyone know that now is the time to dig in. And let's show them who the real boss of this country is. They work for us. Even though half our paycheck goes to them. Yeah, we're the boss. We pay them. It's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. Let them know that. Burn up the phones to Congress and let them know. This border crap stops. All of this stuff stops. We're going to put Donald Trump back in office, and Donald Trump needs to declare a national emergency and clean out Washington, D.C. and start over. Okay? Love every one of you. Thank you so much. Make sure you share, like, and turn on your notifications. And with that, I'm going to say, God bless you. God bless the United States. Good night.